In the previous video, we talked about generating keywords from the Google Keyword Planner, but in this video we're going to talk about generating keywords from Keyword Researcher. Namely, using these areas up here. We'll be using the various functions in Keyword Researcher to generate keywords. Now in the previous videos we used the CSV file importer to drag in some CSV files into Keyword Researcher. And when it comes to the last one here, this is merely where you type in a keyword list. So if you want to manually enter keywords line by line or paste them into this box, then whatever keywords you import here can be imported into your project. But in this video we want to concentrate on these top functions here. So what about the top one, the Google search box, where we search for wildcards keywords? Because Keyword Researcher will simply save those keyword results and put the information in your project grid. Most people are already pretty familiar about how this works, but I'll go through it one more time. Google has a process called autocomplete, so if you type in a phrase, how to X, then Google will try to replace this X, this word, and try to guess what you're about to type next. So if you run through the letters of the alphabet, then you'll see lots of guesses from Google about which keyword you're actually about to type. Now this becomes really useful in keyword research. So I have a couple sample keyword queries here, which I'll paste here now. So the game is this. We want to guess what your actual customers are typing into Google. That's why we put this asterisk at various locations within your keyword phrase to try to prompt Google to, quote, fill in the blank, end quote. To fill in the blank about what your potential customers might be typing in. Now, we created this idea generator here to help you with the process, to give you an idea about what you might type into the search box, particularly if your example was camera, like if you had a camera website. You'll notice that the ideas here will change relative to whatever niche you type in here. But really, nobody knows your website niche better than you. So ideally, you get to a point where you make your own clever keyword search queries, where you build your own list of keywords that you know are applicable to your target demographic. So these are also keyword phrases that you might consider using on your website or conducting searches with. But ultimately, you want to remember that you have the best knowledge of your specific niche. But for now, let's look at our first sample, asterisk for moms. So we know that that is a very broad niche. And we know that Google is going to return various keywords that are about keywords for moms, like gifts or childcare or medication or female health or education or whatever. But in any case, we know that Google Autocomplete is going to attempt to replace the asterisk with keywords that other people typed into the internet when they searched for this query, when they completed their query with the words for moms. So if you had a mom or children website, then this keyword search query is probably quite applicable. Now the next keyword search query, how to make an asterisk, is probably a bit too broad, because Google is going to show you results about everything. How to make a table, how to make an airplane, how to make a broom. You're going to get so many results back for that page that this is typically not the kind of keyword that you would type in if you were building a niche website. Now, if you were building a broad website like WikiHow, where you just have pages of content about how to build everything, then this page would be quite applicable to that website. But for most of us who are building niche websites, then you probably want to choose something with a bit more of a narrow focus. Now, the next keyword phrase, build an asterisk in my garden. So this is probably a great keyword phrase for somebody in the gardening niche, because there's a lot of specificity here. On the left we have build, the verb, and on the right we have garden, the niche. So right away we know that this phrase is going to apply to a certain group of people who are doing a certain thing in a domain. They are building something in the garden. So this is probably a good example of the kind of specificity that you want to go for when you're crafting these search queries. It's quite easy to guess of the type of person who would type this into Google, somebody who's building something in their garden. Now keep in mind, again, nobody knows your niche better than you, and the only way that you can actually know which queries are going to come up with the best words is by actually Googling them and trying them and trying different derivatives of these and trying to build a large list of keywords for your website. You want to always be thinking about which phrases your potential customers are actually typing into Google. But in any case, I'm going to hit the play button now and we're going to watch as our keywords come in from Google. And of course, you'll notice that all Keyword Researcher is doing is going through the letters of the alphabet and replacing our asterisk with these letters one by one, hence allowing us to see what people are actually typing into Google to complete this phrase for every letter of the alphabet A through Z. Now this is a little bit boring to watch in a video, so I'm going to pause this now and we'll come back when the search is over. Okay, and now our search is complete, and you'll notice that we have lots of great keywords stored in our table now. Now let's take a moment to talk about the other keyword generators in the app. These other two keyword generators for Amazon.com and YouTube.com, these work in a similar way to the original Google search keyword generator. The only difference is, of course, that they go to Amazon instead of going to Google, or the YouTube one goes to YouTube instead of going to Google. But the principles are the same. Now, a word of warning here, the actual Amazon keyword tool is not as vast as the Google keyword tool, because in Amazon there simply are not as many keywords, because on Amazon people just go there to find products, but on Google people go to Google to search for everything. So there are many more keywords in the Google search generator. But the Amazon search generator, here you should focus on products, because people are typing products into Amazon, not necessarily other niches that do not involve an actual physical product, because people go to Amazon to find something, they buy it, and then it's mailed to them. So Amazon is much better for physical products or books or movies or informational products, anything you would actually buy at Amazon. But when it comes to information, you probably want to use the original Google search keyword generator. Now this keyword generator down here is for the Google related searches. So what are the Google related searches? Returning to our garden niche, if you were to go to Google and type in something like garden windmill designs, and then when you scroll all the way to the bottom of the page, you'll notice these links down here. There's 8 of them, and these are 8 keywords which Google has deemed to be related to the garden windmill keyword phrase. And when you use Keyword Researcher, these keywords are exactly what are being obtained when you type in that phrase here. Keyword Researcher will go to Google and will gather the 8 links which we just saw, and it will download these and place these into your table here. These keywords can be quite valuable because these geniuses at Google are really smart at finding relations between keywords, and Google themselves have deemed that these 8 keywords are related to the keyword that we typed in. And so that is valuable because that tells us that the people who searched for this keyword phrase are also interested in those other 8 keyword phrases. So you can use this method to get keyword phrases that would be very difficult to think of. And these are definitely keywords that you will want to add to your keyword project file.